Welcome to studyinturkey.tv. We have Serdar Apaydın, Manager of International Office at Istanbul Bilgi University. Welcome to our show, Serdar.
It's very nice to be here with you.
I would like to talk about today internationalization of higher education. What happened from the last few years? The number of international students increased with a quite impressive rate. What was the reason for that?
Okay, to start with, I really would like to inform all the audiences about the universities in Turkey. There are two different types of universities in Turkey. A university in Turkey either would be a public university or would be a foundation university. What we understand from foundation universities, they are practically half public, half foundation. Since there is not a specific law in Turkey yet to open up private universities, we have foundation universities, which are all non-profit organizations. The number of foundation universities increased rapidly in the last around 15-16 years, starting with Bilgi University in Ankara. Now we have almost 80 different foundation universities all over Turkey, and on top of that we have around 120 public universities in the whole country. We have a university in every city in Turkey, so it's a great advantage, especially evaluating the whole region. Turkey is going to become a center for higher education. Coming back to numbers, up until 2009, there was a central placement exam for all international students. They had to take the exam in order to be placed into a university. But unfortunately, that specific exam, which was called YÖS, was bilingual, and it was in Turkish and English. So any student who didn't speak Turkish or English couldn't take the test. With the increasing number of foundation universities, which are generally English medium, we needed a better way to open our doors to international students. So the government, the Higher Education Council, decided to cancel the application of that test. And Higher Education Council basically appointed all universities and very briefly or basically told them that they could come up with their own minimum requirements in order to receive international students. In 2009, the number of international students studying in Turkish universities was around 17,000. About 6 years later, today, we accommodate around 98,000 international students, just a little close to 100,000, yeah. And this number is going to increase rapidly in the next following years.
What are the minimum requirements for an international student to be able to come and study in Turkey?
Okay, since 2009, all the universities basically decide what the minimum requirements are for their own universities. The Turkish higher education system requires a minimum of 12 years of high school education in order to admit students to their universities. What does 12 years of education mean? Is not really different from one country to another. We basically require high school students to complete their 12 years of high school education. There are actually two different types of application procedures that can be followed up by students. The first one is internationally recognized exams or exam results such as SAT, ACT, Abitur from Germany, Matura from Balkans, Attestat from the Russian countries, or Tevcihi from the Arabic world and such. The other way of application would be a regular high school diploma. So if the applicant completes 12 years of education and then gets their high school diploma, they will also be asked to present their at least last 3 years of transcripts.
Okay.
So if they have the transcripts in their hands and the diploma in their hands, according to the requirement of the related university, they can basically apply to study in a Turkish university with those documents in their hands. The only thing that they have to do is as if, I mean, if they are accepted by the university to the programs, they will be required to apply to the Directorate of Education in the related city in Turkey. Bilgi is based in Istanbul, so we basically tend to forward our students to the Directorate of Education in Istanbul. They will be going to the Directorate of Education for an application of a letter of equivalency. Even though they are accepted by the university, if they do not have the letter of equivalency, they will not be able to register to the university. What is a letter of equivalency? It's a very, very plain document that proves the university that the students' high school education in their own country is equal to the high school education system in Turkey. Every university have different minimum requirements. They can just go ahead and check out gostudyinturkey.com or any related other websites to search for the minimum requirements. If they meet the minimum requirements, they can directly contact the universities with their documents. It's as simple as sending the documents by email. Every university has their own online application modules or any other kinds of PDF kinds of application forms. Filling out the application form, providing the documents, it's a simple process. I think it's very easy for international applicants to come to Turkey and study.
What are those? Can you elaborate on that a little bit when you say they can just send an email? What documents that they should send?
Okay,
for instance, for Istanbul Bilgi University.
Okay, for Istanbul Bilgi University, the first two major documents that we require is the high school diploma and the high school transcripts. The third document that we require is a passport. So if the applicant has a passport which is valid for at least 6 months from the date of the application.
Valid for 6 months, a passport, okay.
Exactly.
Transcripts.
A high school diploma and the last 3 years of high school transcripts.
Okay.
They are good to make an application. Okay. The only additional document that they have to provide to the university is the application form. As I said, application forms can be found online, or it can be provided by the university attached to an email. But it's very simple. Fill out the online application form, attach your diploma, a copy of your diploma, a copy of your high school transcripts, and a copy of your passport. And attach all these documents and send it to the university by email. It's as simple as this.
That is very good information, significant information about how to get into Turkish university. So Serdar, I would like to ask you now about new technologies and especially virtual reality. You were here during the show, you actually tried the virtual reality yourself on a walking simulator. And I would like to get your opinion about how do you think this will disrupt the world of education?
It will have an amazing impact all the way from the step of admissions to the step of graduation for students. I assume one day we will not be sending acceptance letters, but we will be sending special equipment for them.
Those head-mounted displays, right?
Exactly, to tell them that they are accepted by our university.
And they will just put it on. They'll be there on your campus and getting the classes as well and seeing each other on a virtual environment.
Exactly.
Thank you, Serdar. This was very helpful. You provided tremendously important, significant information for students who would like to study in Turkey.
Thank you for the invitation. Thanks a lot.
We were together with Mr. Serdar Apaydın, International Admissions Manager of Istanbul Bilgi University. We'll be together again soon. Thank you for watching us.